Greetings everyone. Today I've got a really exciting test up for you guys. It is the test of Emsisoft Internet Security version 9 final. Now I know I've got a lot of requests to test the internet security instead of their basic anti-malware, so that's exactly what I'll be doing today. So we've got both Online Armor and Emsisoft Anti-malware installed on this system. And let's just quickly go through the basic user interface of both of these programs. First of all, I'm going to update. And as you can see, the color scheme of the user interface is pretty neat. So are the fonts. It is a little bit bulky, as I've already mentioned and gone over that issue. Most of the bugs, like the quarantine flickering that were there in the first beta, have been fixed. And this is fully ready to be used on a production machine. So the basic user interface is pretty good. You've got your protection, scan, quarantine, logs, and all the stuff you need is pretty much easily accessible. If you want the advanced settings for, let's say, behavior blocker, it's very intuitive getting there. It's no big deal. You can change most of the settings. There's a fair bit of customization available throughout this entire user interface, so you can customize your surf protection, your file guard, pretty much do whatever you want. So it's a pretty neat user interface. I still believe that their previous one was a bit better, but it's no big deal. I mean, this itself is also a pretty good user interface. So let's quickly go over Online Armor. Now this thing is their Firewall plus HIPS program. It has got a firewall, a web shield, a program guard, which is basically their HIPS, a different kind of behavior blocker from the one that you have in anti-malware. And they've specifically got a module for anti-keylogger, so that's good to see as well. And basically you can go over their firewall. The way this works is when you first install it, this thing goes into learning mode for about 2 minutes, and it learns how your system works, and then it adds its trusted files and everything, and then it's basically a pre-configured HIPS module. And you do have some customization options here too, like what to do with your programs. You can run safer, which is basically run it in a sandbox environment. So this also has a sandbox. So basically they have 3 protection modes: standard, advanced, or banking mode, basing on what kind of security you need. Personally, I've never found Online Armor to be very essential. Anti-malware on its own has done a pretty good job in the past, so I'm not exactly sure if this module is going to come into play very much. But anyway, let's just make sure that it's up to date, and then we can start the test. Just run it one more time. As you can see, now it is entirely up to date. So we can get started with our prevention test. Now before we do that, I'd just like to have a word on the system performance. If you've watched my previous beta test, you probably know that this thing uses a lot of RAM, and it continues to do so. In most cases, most of the time it's stuck at around 175 to around 225 megabytes of RAM. However, they do have this memory optimization, and I have seen it working. On my host machine, after being unused for quite a while, the memory usage went down to like just 15 megabytes. But that doesn't always happen, and most of the time this is the case if you're using it frequently. So I mean, it is alarming for people who have really less RAM, but I guess there are no such people out there nowadays, so it shouldn't be a big concern. And even if you are one of those people who have very less, there you go, you can see the memory optimization in process. So as you can see, right now it's dropped to just 0.4 megabytes. So if you are someone who is really low RAM, well, it's not that much of a concern because this thing's going to bring it down. And so when you're like doing something RAM intensive, like running a game or whatever, Emsisoft is not going to take up the major part of your RAM. It might during other times, but not when you need it. So this thing works pretty well now, so I'm not that much concerned about the RAM usage. And overall, the system impact is very less. I mean, I don't notice it running at all. And if you're using Online Armor for the internet security, of course, the RAM usage is a little bit higher. Online Armor uses around 20 megabytes to 15 to 20 megabytes. And anti-malware, as I said, it varies. So let's get started with the prevention test. I've got 12 links, and let's try them out. I can't say if all of them are 0-day, but some of them are, and some of them have got low detection rates. So let's try these out and see how Emsisoft protects us. So here's the first file. The first file is caught by their signatures. It's gen variant grafter engine B. As we all know, Emsisoft uses the Bitdefender engine along with its own engine, of course. And about the memory optimization, that is something you can control yourself. So you can turn it on and off, and you'll see a difference in the memory usage. So that's something nice that the user can control. Some of these servers are really slow. Funny thing is, the file name is server.scr. The second link is also blocked by their signature, so we'll just get rid of that. And let's proceed to the third link. And this one's blocked by their web filter, so that's good to see. Let's try this one. It looks like that one's already dead. Now this is a phishing website. Let's try this out and see if Emsisoft can block it. Yeah, as you can see, their web blocker took care of that. This one's also blocked by their surf protection. It was a zip file, double extension .pdf.zip. Okay, this one's also blocked. That's good to see. Let's try this one out. And it looks like this one is also blocked. So a lot of these files are getting blocked by their web filter. Let's try this one out. This is a download page. We have to download the file. Let's see if Emsisoft blocks the download. Go ahead and run that. This file was also caught by their signatures, Trojan generic, so we'll get rid of this too. So let's proceed. We still have 3 links to go. Some of these are adware. Let's see how it deals with these. Okay, this one's blocked. This was a piece of adware. And this is a Google Drive redirect to some kind of zip file. Let's try this out. And as you can see, the page gets redirected, and now you've ended up at an entirely different website. Now another one. So lots of redirects there. This should drop a file. So we'll go ahead and save this file because it's a zip. Alright, so let's open this up and try to run this file. It's a control panel item and it's blocked. So Emsisoft got rid of that one too. Now let's try the last file. This is a Dropbox link. So let's open this, let's save it, then we'll open it. So here's another zip, a fake document. It's got, whoa, look at the number of extensions. First doc, then zip, and then control panel item. So triple extension. And this one's caught too. So Emsisoft looks to have managed a perfect clean sheet despite trying out so many links. So that's good to see. So now I'm going to disable their file guard and we will grab our malware samples. Now these are very new samples, just like the previous test. They're just they're less than a day old, that's all I can say. And let's see what kind of detection ratio Emsisoft can manage on these fairly new files. So let me just show you that there are indeed 500 items here, as usual. So we'll go ahead and do a right-click scan with Emsisoft, and let's see what it finds and removes. The scan is really fast. That's something I also like about Emsisoft's newer versions. They have kept increasing their scan speed, and in this version it's pretty quick. And so is the removal process, if I'm not wrong. The only thing I think Emsisoft misses over here is a disinfect feature or a repair feature for system modification. So it's not that great in terms of a removal utility. It's great for prevention, but if you're really looking to clean a badly infected system, this would probably not do very well because it lacks a proper disinfect feature. But having said that, their detection ratios are incredible. So let's see what they've managed over here. Let's delete all the items that it's detected. And then we can calculate the detection ratio. So we're almost done here. 41 files to go. And now we're all clean. So let's re-enable Emsisoft's shields. And let's see what we're left with. So wow, we're just left with 6 items, and all 6 of these look to be the variants of pretty much the same file. So let's see what kind of detection ratio that gives us. So that is 98.8%, an absolutely wonderful detection ratio, and it's even better because all 6 of these are pretty much the same variant. So if it detected one, it would probably have detected the other 5 as well. So technically you could even say that it caught everything apart from one piece of malware, basically one variant. No, in fact, basically one major type of malware with different variants. But anyway, we'll count that as 6, and now let's see if it can protect us from this thing that it's left out. So this appears to be a piece of adware that's signed Fusion install. It's going to download some stuff, and immediately look at that. So the file is not blocked because technically it's not malware, but the moment it tries to connect to this host and download all the adware, it is blocked. So as a result, the system remains perfectly clean and the file just terminates because it can connect to its malicious host. So let's try out the next one and see if we get the same result. This one appears to be running for a bit longer. Let's see if it can do any damage. Okay, so Firewall says it's given it access to some website. In fact, if it's the same host as the previous one, it might have been blocked, and we wouldn't have got an alert because it just told us that it blocked that host. However, the process is still running. We'll let it run and see if it is allowed to download any adware. So let's try out another version, and this one tries to connect to another host that is blocked. Let's try out another one. Okay, this one successfully connected, I think. Let's try out this one. Okay, this one's host was blocked. Let's try this one out. And once again, the malicious host is blocked. So, basically, we didn't get much of a chance to see their behavior blocker in action, but I've been using this thing on my host machine for a long time, and the behavior blocker is fantastic as well. So I'll just let these processes run, and we'll see if they can download any kind of adware. We have 3 processes running, so I'll let them run for a few minutes, and then I'll reboot the system, and then I'll scan with Malwarebytes and Hetman Pro. There's no point of scanning with Emsisoft because I'm using it as my real-time guard. And now, as you can see, one of these programs is being verified with the Anti-malware network, or Emsisoft's cloud. And this is basically to help the behavior blocker take automatic decisions so that you don't have to say anything. But if it's unable to find out whether or not the file is malicious, it's going to ask you for your approval. But this is something that you can customize, but there you go. Now we've got stuff being blocked. Alright, let's just hold on a second. First, this alert, Emsisoft anti-malware has detected suspicious behavior, and so the file was quarantined. So completely automatic, that's good to see. And then here's the second file being verified. Now, this is Online Armor saying that Emsisoft basically wants to create a startup item in order to quarantine that file. And it's asking me whether or not I should allow or block it. I think these are things that should be there in their whitelist. I mean, this seems stupid. Why is Online Armor asking me whether or not I should allow Emsisoft? As you can clearly see, it's EAM clean, so it's basically their anti-malware cleaning module. So I would like Online Armor to be a bit more mature in this aspect. I mean, sometimes the alerts this thing gives is just really stupid. I guess people who want more control are happy with this, but for a regular user, this is the reason I don't recommend using Online Armor. Because let's say this was a user who doesn't understand what is EAM clean.exe. I mean, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, oh, it's red, it's bad, let me block it. And ultimately what they're doing is they're basically stopping Emsisoft anti-malware itself from doing its job. So these alerts, of course they come with some information, but I mean, it should be smarter than this. It shouldn't ask me about Emsisoft anti-malware when clearly the product name is here and they can see the company as well. So it should have automatically allowed this one. But anyway, I'll do the honor. And now we've got another behavioral alert. So this was probably not verified by the cloud, so I have to take the choice myself. It says program is attempting to manipulate other process, and since I do not know whether this program is safe or not and the recommended action is quarantine, that's what I'll do. So it looks like Emsisoft wants me to reboot the computer, so accidentally I hit restart, but that's no big deal. So I'll be back after the restart, and as you can see also Emsisoft's behavior blocker was catching some other stuff that was in the background. So basically it looks like the behavior blocker has caught all these 3 processes. So now the items are being removed, so we'll continue and boot up the system. Wow, I mean, this review is really nice. There's a really neat flow to it. I haven't had to pause it during the whole time. So let's see if we can delete the samples folder, because if we can, that means the process have all been removed. Let's try doing this, and there you go. So basically there was no startup item, so they would have gone anyway, so no big deal. So looks like that's a perfect clean sheet, but I will still do a couple of scans just to confirm for everyone, and I'll be back with the results. Malwarebytes just confirms that the system is clean, and Emsisoft has kept a clean sheet. So this is it, people. You're probably looking at the most secure internet security product of this year. As far as the products I've tested, I find Emsisoft to be definitely one of the best, if not the best. And it basically doesn't have any kind of weakness. It's got great signatures, the detection ratio is excellent, it protects you against phishing websites and whatnot, they have a great surf protection, and the behavior blocker does a good job at the back tidying up against zero-day malware. And if you're really a security maniac, you can use Online Armor. But my final recommendation would be stick to Emsisoft Anti-malware unless you're really experienced and you're an advanced user, because in most cases I've seen that Online Armor creates more problem than it solves, especially when the user is not that experienced. So for everyday purposes I find Emsisoft Anti-malware to be more than adequate. But if you do want to use Online Armor, I suggest you do so with a bit of caution, because it can cause a few problems if you're not that well experienced. But anyway, this entire thing is really good, and especially their anti-malware and the way the behavior blocker works, it's just really good. And their cloud verification means that their protection is more automatic, so you don't necessarily have to take the decisions all the time yourself. And if you don't want to answer more questions, you can always change this threshold. So I've used it for quite a while at 75%, and it still didn't produce too many false positives, so you can do that too. And it's just overall, it's a great product. I really recommend this to everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I definitely enjoyed making it. It's good to see any product do so well. Always cheers me up to see that the fight against malware is, you know, it always feels good to be on the winning side. So have a nice day, and stay tuned for more anti-malware reviews.